Hey, Len, what's happening, buddy?
It says this hangout is on the air. We are live. Sorry, Larry. I tried to cancel the panelist link, and I guess it just didn't go through in time. So no problem. It doesn't really matter. You're here. That's all. You're on the panel now. Anyone else who wants to come over is welcome to too. Before I launch, last week several people asked for some PowerPoint training. And that's what I proposed to do today. And last night, for those of you who were on the webinar last night, the folks that were doing the webinar jumped right into how to edit pictures on PowerPoint. And I mean, that's a marvelous thing to do if you actually know where the on-off switch is and how to run PowerPoint to begin with. But it seems to me that that's sort of starting in the middle. So let's go start at the beginning and work our way up to how to edit pictures in PowerPoint. Before I jump in there, right at this point, 100% of the attendees on this webinar are in fact affiliates in the product launch. And the question I have for you, and just give me an answer in the chat, would it be useful to you to do a little training session together about how to use the links? I've changed some of the links and what's back there. And I'm doing another webinar Saturday morning, and we have some people signed up for it. And the object of the game would be to get people to that webinar. So you don't have to answer me right now. I just put that question out there. Does everybody understand the links, how to use them, and et cetera? Or have I created sufficient confusion that we should stop and explain? Have the emails been understandable? Having said all that, and I'll look for an answer before we close the webinar at the end if I remember to ask again. Hopefully I will. Having said all that, let me go to screen share and let me do a little PowerPoint presentation. I do not have a PowerPoint about my PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to tell you that this is the most unrehearsed presentation that I have ever done. So let's see where we end up. So here we go to screen share. Larry, I'll count on you to tell me that people can see what we're doing. And
yeah, I see your screen share, Len.
And here is PowerPoint. So
yeah, that's it. You have it.
All I've done is open PowerPoint. I haven't done anything clever at all. So assuming you all have PowerPoint on your computer, that's all you have to do to get started. Now, I'm going to tell you that I've been using PowerPoint for, if I tell you it's probably longer than 40 years, that's probably the truth. It's around that time. And there are things in PowerPoint that I don't know how to do because I don't use them. So I'm going to show you what I do. And we'll go from there. We're going to create a presentation. We'll put in pictures and we'll do a bunch of stuff. But the first and the obvious thing to know is right here, under the home menu, right here, there's things like new slides, layouts, and etc. So if I want a new slide, all I got to do is click on it to add a slide. And the slides come up with a click to add title, click to add text. If I want to change the layout of that slide, there are layout buttons here. So let's say I want a slide where I'm going to put in a couple of different fields. I can do that. Okay. Or I can change the layout back to what it was. Let's just charge right in here and put a presentation together. I'm going to show you something pretty interesting here and that I actually frequently use. You know, for those of you who were on last week on on Lunch with Len, or last Tuesday, I showed you that I wrote a little blog post based on one of the modules in April Marie Tucker's, the $5 section of her course, the first module of her course. She had a little 8-minute video on how to avoid Insta shutdown. So now I'm not going to turn this whole thing into a PowerPoint presentation, but I'm going to show you one of the tricks that I use fairly regularly to create PowerPoint presentations. So let me grab the first paragraph. You're going to be blown away at how simple this is. I just copied, I don't know if I did copy or cut. So let me come back and make sure I didn't do cut, because I don't intend to cut this. I intend to copy it. Go back to my PowerPoint presentation, and I'm going to just paste. It gives me paste options, but that's right. I'm just going to paste. I did a cut and paste. All right, there's my title. Now, let's turn that into bullet points. Bingo. There are over 300 million active monthly users, over 75 million users. Getting accurate statistics seems difficult, but many people are using Instagram successfully to get leads daily for their business. How about that? Now I can go back through.
Hey, Len.
Yeah.
Where did you go to get the bullet point buttons?
They're there. They're automatic. They just came along for the ride. I have to do something to get rid of them.
Oh, okay.
But they're also right here. So if I want to get rid of them, I can do that.
Okay.
Or if I prefer to number them. So when you notice that when I pulled this layout of this slide down, let me just add a new slide here. New slide. Notice that this thing actually came with a bullet point. Click here to add content, or click here to add text. So the bullet is actually already there. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I don't want to belabor this into a really long, boring. But let me just go back now to my file. I had here's some do's and don'ts for Instagram. So, and these are already bullet points there. Let me just grab them. I'm going to copy them again. And we'll hit the next slide, and I'm going to go paste. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to delete that slide. Sorry, let me come back with a new slide here so that I have the format starting the way I want it to. I'm just going to do paste. Now, that's probably a little bit cluttered for one slide, so let me just grab a few of these things, cut them out of there, go over here, just click on new slide, paste. Maybe that's too much for one slide, so I can cut that out. New slide, paste. So now, apart from going back and adding some titles, I've just created a six-slide PowerPoint presentation about how to avoid shutdown in Instagram. I could go back to my little article that I've written. I could pull up a few more points. If I wanted to embellish this into a full training, I would probably go to Google and pull up some statistics about Instagram. Well, I actually have some here: 300 monthly users, 75 million daily users, etc. We actually have some. Let me go to my title slide. Grab my title again. Copy title. Am I going too fast?
No, it's good. I like it.
Ben Mooney, September 2015. I can spell September 2015. Okay. All right. Now, let's make this thing look a little bit prettier. But let's do something first. Let's pull a picture in. So insert all kinds of stuff, but in particular, insert picture. And now it just takes me out to where I can go find a picture. So here's never mind, you know what I'm doing right now. I'm just plowing through my own desktop. And here's pictures. So there's a picture. I can make it any size I want it to be, put it wherever I want it. Done. Now I have a title slide. Okay. Under insert, I can insert, there's clip art, there's screenshots. I don't use most of this stuff. Oh, there's hyperlinks, text boxes, which we get to in a little bit, word art, etc. But a lot of the stuff I don't use. For the most part, I don't use clip art. But some people do, some people like it. It's really a function of what you like. If I click on clip art, I guess there's a place where I can go to find clip art. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't use it, so I don't know much about it. So let's just stay where we are. Okay. How about turning this slideshow into something that looks reasonably decent? Design. Look at what we have here. Now, you can design your own, by the way. and you can make your own template. And in days gone by, in years gone by, years ago, I actually used to know how to do that, but I haven't done it for so long that I wouldn't pretend to be able to teach somebody how to do that right now. But there are tons of different templates here, and the one that I usually use, because I just happen to like it, is this one. So notice when I clicked on the template, it put the template on every slide there. So now I'm all done. So I've got this nice little PowerPoint presentation, and if I just go down here, now notice on the bottom, I have the normal view, which is what I'm looking at right now, so I can see the slides on the side, and one slide at a time I can see what they look like. Or I have the slide sorter view, and if I use this view, I can move slides around just by grabbing them and moving them. You see that? Just grab the slide and pull it, and I can change the order of the slides. So that's pretty spiffy. And if I go down here, I have the slideshow view. So there it is. And just by clicking through, I haven't put titles on these slides. So I would, if I were doing a real presentation, I would go back and put titles. So basically, we've created a little slideshow, and I think you can see that I can continue right on with this. Let me go back to the normal view. Now let me show you something else that's pretty interesting that a lot of people really like. So here's a list of bullet points. Now, as you know, when you put a slide like this up, people read the slide, they don't listen to you. Let's pretend you actually want them to listen to you rather than reading the slide. How do you turn this slide into something that puts the bullet points up one at a time? All right, now watch carefully. This is pure magic. You see the dashed box around the bullet points. If I click on that box, it turns solid. I go to animations. And what kind of animation would you like those bullets? Oh, let's make them be a fly-in. Okay. Bingo. Done. So now, to show you this, I got to go back and do a slideshow because it only works in the show itself. When I come into the show, notice the bullets didn't appear. When I click a button, the first bullet appears. Click the mouse, the next bullet appears, and so on and so forth. So that's how, and now I'm going to click End Show. That's how you can automate these or have the bullets come in one at a time. And there's a bunch of different automations here. To be perfectly honest with you, let me go to this slide, grab the box again. The only one I actually almost ever use is Appear. And when you do that, what you get is they just appear one at a time as you click the button. Every time you see one of these appear, it's because I've done a left mouse click. I'm clicking the mouse. Okay, pretty straightforward. Let's do a couple of other things. As you know, I've got lots of PowerPoint presentations. So let me go back home. Let's pretend for a minute that I want to pull some slides in from another presentation that I've done. So over here, under New Slides, under the Slides section, see this little pull down? If I pull it down, it gives me some new options down here. And one of those options is Reuse Slides. Now, I've slowed down a bit because somebody out there might be taking notes. If I click on Reuse Slides, it opens a box over here. And now I can go out there and I can search. Oh, that's not the one I want. That one was from the clip art before. Let's see. I can close the clip art one. Here's the one I want. I can browse In fact, it already has a list of recent PowerPoint presentations that I've done that I've had open. So, well, for example, I had one open on personal branding right there. But I can also just browse. So if I ask it to browse files, then it goes out to the internet and I can go find any of the files that I've created in the past. So for example, under 214 marketing plans, vision workshop, let's see, let's just find the PowerPoint presentation. There's the vision workshop PowerPoint presentation. There is the whole PowerPoint presentation. Now, if I want to add slides from this presentation to this one that I'm creating today, all I got to do is click on them. There it is. That slide came over. Set your intentions. There is the introductory slide or the opening slide. So I can bring slides over from prior presentations and just embed them wherever I want them. So if I want one down here, there it is. There's that slide. Now, if I don't like the order they're in, I go to my sorter and I move them around. That's simple. It's pretty spiffy. Let me go back to normal view. All right. Well, I really don't want the Ultimate Vision Workshop introductory slide in the middle of my presentation. In fact, I don't want to use it in this presentation at all. So I can right-click and hide the slide. That slide is now hidden. So when I come through the presentation, it'll bounce right over it. Notice it didn't show up at all. It bounced right through it. So, for example, on Tuesday night, we did the presentation for the course, and it lasted a little bit long. It lasted a total of an hour and a half, and it would have lasted a lot longer if I hadn't speeded up near the end. So I'm going to go into that presentation, and rather than actually remove slides from it, I'll probably just hide slides so that when I go back through them on Saturday morning, I won't have so many slides to show. Okay. Any questions so far? Let's just stop there for a minute and see. Larry, do you have any questions? And does anybody in the chat have any questions?
Let's see. I'll check the chat. Bill wants to know, what version of MS Office do you have?
I believe it's 7.
He's also calling you on a carpet, says MS Office has not been around that long. I have a question now, and you just save it and go into File and save this presentation?
Sure. I'll save.
Okay.
Or save as. Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. It's all done. I don't want to save this, so forgive me, but I'm just not going to save this presentation. It's like, man, don't save. Leave it alone. Oops. 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 Did I lose it? I hope not. Come back here.
You lost it.
Okay, that's fine. Let me find something. Let me find something that I did last week. Okay, so yeah, this is here's the one we did last week in the presentation, or on Tuesday. So one of the other questions that was asked one time not too long ago, can you see this now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. One of the other questions that was asked not too long ago is, how do you turn it into a PDF file? File, save as. Down here, I can save it as a PowerPoint presentation. I can also save it as a PDF file, or any of these other kinds of things for that matter. So here's PDF. Fundamental approaches to selling your LSP, saved as a PDF file. And when I do save, it's going to ask me, well, it didn't ask me. Okay, maybe I'm not quite sure why this is being a little confused right now, but it should have saved it as a PDF file, and I should be able to go back there and find it. I can create PDF files. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why that is doing what it's doing, because it's doing something a little bit strange here. So, we got that. We got that view in the show, because it's not in the correct view I want it in either. So, why isn't it? Let's look at view. I want the normal view. There it is. Here's the normal view. Okay. So let me go back to that again. Save as PDF, because it usually comes back and asks me, okay, it says it already exists. So fine. Where's it exist at? It's in 215 Marketing MLSP. Okay. So let me go out there. Let me go out there and see if that's really true. See if it lied to me. I didn't shut down the webinar yet, did I?
No, sir, you did not. It's running fine.
Okay, so there it is. So there it is as a PowerPoint or as a PDF file. So it's saved as a PDF file. So there it is, and there's the original PowerPoint file that it came from.
So it's saved. You got it saved as a PDF and a regular PowerPoint.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Okay. Now stop. Nope. 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 All right. Are we still here?
We're still here.
All right. Back to PowerPoint. So let me go now to. I'm just going to add a new slide. And we'll go to a little bit of what Lanisha and Stephen were doing last night. So let me go tell it to insert a picture. And we'll go find a picture. I'm going to go to my picture file. Pictures. And, oh, I don't know, here's Blue Lakes. Here's bicycle riding up in Blue Lakes. So let me just grab that. That's a nice picture. I was up at Blue Lakes. So there we go. Okay, fine. Insert text box. Biking in blue or near. This doesn't have to be Blue Lakes in the high Sierras. There we go. Now, what Lanisha or what Stephen was showing, for those of you who were on, he pulled the text box all the way to the side so that when he hit center the text centered on the picture. Pretty straightforward. Now, let's change the color. What would you like it to be? Let's make it white. It'll show up better on the blue background. So there's my color. Let's make it bigger. Okay? Or smaller. Let's bold it, italicize it, underline it. So we have all the standard editing features sitting there that we can play with this stuff. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't do any of this in PowerPoint. I do it in Canva. I can't, to be honest, I can't tell you if PowerPoint is more powerful than Canva or less powerful, because I don't know enough about the PowerPoint editing capability. But there's certainly a lot of editing capability here. And you know, if I grab this text, and there is, I think I can just do it right here, text effects. Well, there's text effects. If I want to shadow the text, I can do that. If I want to outline the text, I can do that. And so, for example, let's take a look at it now. So I've shadowed the text and I've outlined it. So there's a lot of text effects that you can play with here. Now, what Steven showed last night was going ahead and just bringing in another picture. So I can just go out to my pictures. Once again, let me get, I'll go out to my high-res pictures again. And because I have some with backgrounds already removed, and I'll just grab a picture of me with no background. And there I am. So I can bring me in here. Okay, and then I can begin to position me around and make me smaller so I fit in there. And of course, if I want to at this point, I can play with the text box, etc. So you see, the point is, this kind of picture editing in PowerPoint is actually relatively straightforward, and you can do it. And if you wanted, I'll give you a personal opinion. If I was making a PowerPoint presentation and I wanted this kind of a picture in my presentation, I might do it in PowerPoint. If I just wanted the picture for other purposes, I wanted to use it in a Facebook ad or something, I'd be more inclined to just go out to Canva and do it in Canva, only because that's the thing that I am personally more familiar with. I just don't do this kind of editing in PowerPoint. So, you know, I can't really vouch for the validity of, you know, how much it's really able to do. Let me add another slide, and I'm gonna stop this in a couple minutes. We're just gonna go back home. I'm gonna add one more slide. Again, if I wanted to pull in a text box or anything like that, I can. But there's all kinds of other things too. If I want to pull in arrows, I can do that. I can point to things. I can pull in shapes. Here's a shape. I want to type inside the shape. I can pull a text box in. Where's the text box at? Insert text box inside the shape. I can type inside that shape. And again, I can go back to my editing tools, change the color, and do that, all that sort of stuff, changing the color of the text or the size of it, or whether it's underlined or bolded or whatever. I can play with all this stuff. Let me put another slide on. New slide. Another thing that I can do that's actually quite powerful that I do from time to time is insert objects. And what are the objects I can insert? Well, there's a whole long list of them. One of them is a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. Guess what I have? I now have an actual spreadsheet inside here that just follows the rules of Microsoft Excel. So for example, I can type into these boxes and do an auto sum, and there's the sum of those boxes. So this is literally a Microsoft spreadsheet that I pulled into the presentation. And then I can treat it and edit it just like a spreadsheet. The final thing that I'm going to say to you today is that you can pull in videos. PowerPoint requires a specific video format. And I'm going to just admit in honesty that I don't remember what it is. I'd have to go look it up to demo that today. I've done it. I don't do it very often. And but if you just go to the help menu and look it up, you'll be able to find it. And if you're using a video editing software like Camtasia, Camtasia has the ability to save the video in a format that PowerPoint recognizes. I just don't honestly remember personally what it is. And if that's something that's important to somebody and you can't find it, hit me up and we'll find it. You know, meanwhile, you can insert shapes, and you can insert hyperlinks, and etc. So you can play with all this stuff. I think what I've done here is sort of covered the basics of how to put together a presentation and how to do some basic editing on it, and of course save it, lose it. I've taught you how to lose a presentation too. It's quite easy. And so I'm going to stop the screen share. Review, please. Okay, I'm going to stop the screen share. Who else do we have here? Who's on? Judy. Hi, Judy. Okay. So does that basically cover the things you wanted to cover, Larry?
Yeah, it did. Very much.
And does anybody else out there have any questions or want to come over and interact?
Bill wants to know what version of MS Office you have.
Yeah, you asked me that before. It's
sorry.
That's okay. I believe it's 7.
Okay.
Or no, it's Windows 7. What version of MS Office? Hell, I don't know, Bill. Do you remember how to find the version of MS Office? It's whatever came with Windows 7 Professional. I'll tell you what. I will go back. Well, it says it's PowerPoint 2010, so I'm going to assume it's Office 2010 as well. That's probably what it is. All programs. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, I'm not sharing my screen right now, am I? You know what, Bill? I'll tell you what. I'll go search for that. Here's MS Office. It's 2010. 2010. Okay. It is 10. Yeah. You're right.
Sounds good to me.
It's 2010. It's Windows 7. My apologize. I misunderstood the question before. I'm running Windows 7. No, I haven't graduated to Windows 8 or 10, and I don't intend to for a sustained period of time. I'm still not hearing. I've never heard anything good about Windows 8, and I'm hearing people having a lot of trouble with Windows 10. So we'll just wait for the bugs to get worked on. So that's what I have. If that answers the questions about PowerPoint, then we're all done. And if anyone needs any further assistance or help or hand-holding or anything or whatever, just hook up with me. You know how to find me. And then I'm going to throw out. No, I don't, Chris. No, not at all. But I just showed you how. The only reason I did that was to show you how trivially simple it is to really take a paragraph, for example, and turn it into bullet points. Copy it over. A lot of what I do, I simply do it from scratch. I just open the presentation, I start typing. Yeah, you can do it right in PowerPoint, no question. No other editing required. Does that answer your question, Chris? Question? You want to come over, Chris? Chris, get your butt over here. Oh no, you sit. Your hands up. What? You're eating tacos? Okay. Is there another question? Okay. So let me go back to my original question. Since everyone almost everyone on here is an affiliate in this, would it be useful for you folks to have a little get together, or a little webinar or something discussing the affiliate links, how to use them, what to do with them, and how to get people to the Saturday webinar, which is right now the goal.
Yeah, I would.
Okay, I got one yes. Give me a time. Give me a time in a day, preferably before Saturday morning.
If you want to do something tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. We can do tomorrow afternoon. It's a little late to implement before Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. I'm
just actually about an hour or an hour and a half. I have to go back to football weigh-ins. Okay. Well, let's do Saturday afternoon. Okay, Bill says yes. What time? Let's pick a time. Well, what about this time?
Okay, 11:30 tomorrow.
11:30 tomorrow.
Okay, Bill, does that work for you? Yes. Is that a yes? Quick recording and do it right now. Larry?
You know what? I have to get off.
Come on. All right. Okay. Let me go ahead and